Welcome back to another episode of On the Real After the Credits Walking Dead edition. Say that 3 times fast. All right, this is our weekly review and reaction show to The Walking Dead, AMC's The Walking Dead, or should I say Robert Kirkman's The Walking Dead, where we recap the episode, we tell you what we liked, what we didn't like, and what we think is going to happen next week and further on. Joining me today is Mr. Woods.
What up?
And we actually have a special guest today. Negan himself.
Yep. In studio.
This
guy's funny.
As he brings up the bat. He says,
Negan wasn't really the guest. It was Lucille. But
how y'all doing out there on Facebook and TV land?
And YouTube. Don't forget the YouTube. We need all the YouTube love.
All the views.
I feel like they have to say hi to Lucille as well.
They should say hi to Lucille. But before they do that,
look at that.
Before you say hi to Lucille, I want you to do us a favor and take a moment, and if you came across this video and you haven't done so already, I want you to like and subscribe and follow us. You can follow us in the streets too. We might be following you.
Don't follow
I might be outside your apartment right now.
Follow them. Don't follow me.
Follow us, talk to us, and because we got kids, and we want to feed them, and you don't want that on your conscience.
Jeez.
But let's get this thing started.
Yes.
Negan, I know you weren't in this episode, but how'd you feel about it?
In the great words of Bill O'Reilly.
There we go.
The thing sucked.
All right, and this is live, so
we'll do it live.
Hey, what
sucked.
Why?
It was terrible.
Why did it suck? Tell me about it.
Tell them why you're mad.
Oh, by the way, this week's episode was titled Monsters.
Yes.
Yeah, it was trash.
It should have been titled Trash?
It just should have been titled Trash. I mean, just the writing and just like, because I said this was going to happen last week. If you watched last week's episode, I said that that his boyfriend was going to die, or his husband.
His husband, watch your mouth.
Whatever. His significant other was going to die because for his story arc. And it was so cheesy under the tree and blah, and them kissing.
I feel like
or whatever.
we said last week it would be under a tree. Like
we called it, folks.
Yeah, there was like all these elements where you had said something like, "Yo, this is how he's gonna die." You had said something.
I
like,
said what Daryl is.
I said he's gonna take the baby.
Yeah,
he's gonna hand that baby.
Yeah.
Like we all
We knew where this was going.
We knew where this was going.
We could give ourselves a round of
pat
applause
on the
for
back.
that. Yeah.
You know,
all
right.
right.
Just
a little
predicted.
bit.
I didn't know how trash it was going to be,
Golf
though.
clap.
I thought it was going to be executed better.
Would you
You
say
thought
that
the trash?
this
You
was
thought the
gonna
trash
happen.
was going to be
Would you
executed
say that
better?
they're keeping you on your toes with how trash it was?
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
man, it's just like it's highs and lows. Because I didn't think I thought the first episode was I thought the second episode was better, but this one was clearly trash.
Okay, I here's the thing. There were some very low points in this episode, some very predictable points, but nothing as bad as what Jesus did last week.
Mhm.
Although there was some more dumb Jesus stuff, and Maggie clearly hasn't learned. But there was some very high points. Like this episode started off, I was like happy at the beginning of this episode because it started off with Ezekiel,
Right.
And they had that setup and how they went back and forth to how they were laying out the plan, and Ezekiel was hyping everybody up, and then going to you thinking that they're caught and then everybody gets hit, but that wasn't the highlight of the opening because right after that we saw Rick's conversation with Morales.
Yes.
Did I say his name right this time?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yes.
Okay.
Not us. You.
But
you did
and
that.
how in the middle of that conversation, Daryl just was like, "Well, he's dead.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't even matter."
You feel like it was?
I know who he was.
You feel like it was a little anticlimactic?
I
It
don't.
was just,
I don't. I knew it first. I called. That was my prediction for last week that was happening.
Yeah.
But I was satisfied by it because
That it was just an arrow to the head.
Not necessarily and I think that was the point of the arrow to the head, because the idea is for Daryl, it is anticlimactic. It's nothing. I don't care. Yes, we knew him a few years ago,
but that's then. This is now.
Right, and it's to illustrate
he
highlight.
Said, I heard
how,
everything he said. It's just like he already called these dudes to come kill him. He can't live. It's just like, what are we gonna do? Stay here and let him turn his
right.
The same things?
You're saying that was Daryl's mindset.
There's no choice.
Right.
You have to kill him.
And look, Daryl is still. You have to remember, Daryl just escaped from being treated like a dog. You know what I mean?
He has no sympathy for any of them.
Everybody's gonna die.
But all the saviors, he doesn't care.
He even killed the fat, nice one.
That's because it's
yeah, with his bike.
And he's just really getting
and super went nuts on him.
Yeah, he did. he definitely did.
He's just getting a chance to deal with the death of Glenn, because this is like a season later for us, but this is like a couple of days later for them.
Right.
So he's in clear mode.
Right.
So
So what do you think about the dichotomy or just the whole thing between Jesus and Morgan?
You mean the fake kung fu fight?
Yeah. Everybody was kung fu fighting.
A little bit of battle between styles.
Yeah. See,
Tiger style versus Crane.
Yeah, it just highlighted how old Lenny James is. Because he just kept getting hit and then getting back up like an old man would. He's like,
he was breathing hard.
He's like, we're going to keep doing this? All right.
Right.
No, but look, it's better than what...
Not for nothing, he didn't want to kill him.
Morgan
didn't want to kill him.
If Morgan wanted him dead, he would be dead.
He'd be dead. Because Morgan still, if you looked on him, his person, he had a knife. He had in his in a boot sheath and whatever the hell. He could have very clearly pulled that shit out and stabbed him if he wanted to.
No, he could have, but it wasn't about that. It was just like, you're dumb, and I'm like,
you're dumb.
It is. It's like you're. This is how many times are we gonna go through this, and we know what they're gonna do. And there's something I said to Yabi earlier.
Everybody's stupid. Maggie's stupid.
No, but
Maggie's stupid for letting this dude back in. What's his name? BAN.
Gregory.
Yeah. She's stupid for letting him in. She's extra stupid if she let all them savers in there. They didn't say what they're gonna do yet, but she's gonna let him in, which is extra effing stupid. Or put them in, lock them up in whatever. But even allowing them to live is stupid.
Yeah, and here's the thing about.
Well, Jesus gave you his explanation, saying like, we can't kill.
Why can't you kill him?
F out of here. Because as soon
they put the guns down. They
put the guns down, but as soon as they get back or they see Negan, they back on Negan.
Right.
They're Negan still. So they're never gonna stop being Negan. You're not gonna convince them to be.
As Jesus said, right? As he said, listen, there's war and then there's peace. We have to live with these people during peacetime.
Another thing that was convenient.
Stupid. But hold on. Who brought the war? I don't understand. What do you mean we have to live people? Who brought
saying.
this? They had to live with us.
Did anybody feel that this was conveniently stupid? Like during the whole Morgan and Jesus fight, you telling me all them dudes that's watching there because both of them dropped their guns and they're fighting hand to hand?
No.
Well,
no.
Steve we
had discussed this. So what?
Off air.
The other soldiers ran in and they had guns on them now, so they couldn't move. Right, so they were watching.
We didn't see the other soldiers coming until after the fight was done.
No, we didn't. We saw them before. There was a shot.
Right,
the girl that had the armor on also, she came and there were people behind them. So,
and they were just letting them fight.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
Because you really don't want to get in the way of that.
Yeah.
But and did you notice how Morgan was like, what? Like he was just out of his mind. But here's the problem.
But he clearly
came back
and
said Tuesday
because it's just like on the last episode when he came out of the thing after he was picking the dudes off.
Yeah.
How he was just there like he snapped back into it. He's like no, and then he was like no, we got to kill these people.
Yeah.
Well, you can see that there's this conflict within him. There's a conflict within him. You know what I mean?
No, once he gets on kill mode, he knows who's us. He knows who's on his side and who's not to kill.
Right.
But when he gets in kill mode, it's kill everything.
Well, the thing is, Morgan is very extreme. There's no middle ground for him. He's either a pacifist or he's just a violent lunatic. You know what I mean?
So I want to.
I mean, with a vision, but he's like you said, he's clearing everybody. Everybody's got to die.
I wanted to discuss with you guys.
What's your thoughts about what's his name? Simon.
Hang on a second.
And the baby.
I'll get back to. We'll get to Simon in a second. What do you guys think about the role reversal between Rick and Daryl, and then the role reversal between Jesus and Morgan? Because where they were, a season or two ago, they've basically switched, right? Because this is the same thing Morgan was doing with the wolves that Jesus is doing now. And we said it was dumb then, and it proved to be dumb, and they ended up getting a bunch of people killed.
Right.
And then they're going to do it again. So there's one aspect of recycling.
But one was
storylines.
saved. One wolf was saved where he helped her in the end. Remember that? You're forgetting that there was a glimmer of light that shined through that wolf. And then I think he
died. He saved the nurse.
Something.
He ran out.
Something like that. So, I mean, people died, but
a lot of people died.
Morgan got through to him. I mean, what's the value system? I know, let's be realistic.
Right, but
understand the morality of that code of trying to say we can still save this person.
No,
and
he tried to save that girl because it's just like she was nice to him.
Yeah,
but regardless, he had some type of compassion for that person. Morgan was the one who kept hammering home to him, right? And then he wound up saying, "Okay, let me try and save her."
So for me, it's there's that aspect of it of what does this role reversal mean, thematically,
right?
But what about kind of are they just is this a good juxtaposition? Or is it we're just recycling a trope of the show because we have nothing else to write about?
It depends where it goes. Because
I feel like we can call these things how they're going to play out, and it's not because we're clairvoyant. It's because we saw it last season or a season before.
But is that Walking Dead fatigue?
Yeah, I mean it's constantly the same thing. It's
And by the way, I don't want to tear down the show because I love the show and I watch it every week, and that's why we're doing this because we love talking about this show.
Right.
And it is weird to kind of do a weekly show just to talk about a show that you hate. So that's not what we're doing. But we
some episodes are clearly better than others. This one wasn't one of the better episodes.
Honestly, I think there was some saving. I think if you look at the parts, there are certain parts you could pick out in this episode that were very good. I think it had some low points.
I'm trying to see who directed this episode.
The conversation with Rick and Morales. And you may not have cared about it, but there's something that
I didn't care.
No, hold on. And I'm going to say this to you, and you may chuckle.
Like the whole thing. Like what I didn't like about it, I was just like, this dude is going to die because he's monologuing. I was like, come on.
It was an excuse for a monologue to say.
And it's like we're the same. Oh, you think whatever you think you're good or whatever. It's like we're the same. We just make decisions, and it's just I get it to explain, but we already got that just from Rick seeing himself in the reflection in the mirror. We got that, and it happened quick. It was a quick little 5-minute thing, but it was just like you're just talking to yourself till you die.
And that's the problem. I'm afraid that because The Walking Dead has got so large that they're sort of saying we're going to play to the lowest common denominator. Mm-hmm. The old Walking Dead would not have explained that. The old Walking Dead would have had Rick look in the mirror and look at the dead body on the floor, and we would have known that.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Because they thought a little bit more of the audience, I think anyway.
Yeah.
Now, if I have to explain everything that I'm doing to you and I have to write scenes just so I can say the thing that we've already seen on his face, that means I don't think you got it. And so, how does that say about how the showrunners feel about their audience if they have to explain things in that way?
Like, you've done bad things, I've done bad things to your monster too. Look what you just did.
Yeah, but again, like you said, we got that when he looked in the mirror. So, I think, but that's not the point that I wanted to highlight. Yes, there's the conversation, but something that I thought was amazing was when Morales was like, if you had the gun, you would kill me. And Rick was like, yeah, I would. But I give you a chance.
Well, I give you a chance.
But you'd definitely be dead.
No, if he talked to him, he's like, wait, I remember you. Whatever, Rick would have gave him a chance to explain himself.
But he would still kill them.
No, because Daryl would have still killed him.
Speaking of Daryl, okay, that is something that I found that was probably Daryl's change now is probably the best part of tonight's show. I think.
You mean
I like where Daryl is? I like where Daryl is. I like.
No. But hang on.
But Morgan is kind of unhinged.
No. But hang on.
Morgan is almost where I like him.
When you say you like where Daryl is, I think that could be a problem, right? Because
everybody gotta die.
Yeah, everybody has to die. But when Rick,
if you're not in my group,
okay, I understand that. But if then we're all villains then, right? So why are you and here understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rick says, "I give you my word," and if the word, if a man's word doesn't mean anything anymore, then what is the point of all of this?
I get what you're saying.
What is the point of trying to? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like if that's what we're doing, then this is what John was saying.
Rick is gonna have a talk because the fact of it, the dude clearly gave up, and he wasn't. It's just like he clearly seems like a dude who's not threatening and doesn't derive pleasure out of enforcing his will on people. Like he's Negan because he had no choice but to be Negan. You feel me? That's what that dude seemed like. Right. So he shouldn't have killed him.
But see, those are those things that continued to make me enjoy the show, right? I mean, we can dissect that, like, this was too slow or whatever, but then there's these ill moments that the writers and the directors and things like that, and even the actors that put the work into the show. And so, as you said, with that situation of him saying, like, if a man's word doesn't mean anything in this world, then what is there? And
again, not to come back to Game of Thrones, but that's what Jon Snow said. Right. If our word, when he made the promise,
once we lose to the value of our word, then what is there, right?
Why are we even fighting anymore? We should just call it a day.
And Morales says we're monsters, right? And Daryl is the one. Now, Daryl had no conversation, like you said. Daryl had nothing to do with it. He was just on the sidelines. Kills him.
And I don't got time
for that. Daryl has been on some killing people, even if they surrender,
because he's on a mission.
He killed, like I said before, when he first escaped from Negan's compound, the fat guy who was like really not like.
He said, "Please, I had nothing to do with it." Blah blah blah.
Yeah. And then he brutally bashed Negan, that dude.
Yeah. But again, that's because Negan had treated him like a dog. And he's like still in feral mode. He's like back. Remember when Daryl was like in the woods and shit? Mm-hmm. Like that's where Daryl is right now. Daryl is not all there at the moment.
Remember when
Daryl ain't never been all that way there.
Well
no, because he took the leader role when Rick was going crazy for a minute.
But remember there was a situation between Rick and Daryl, and they were saying we still have to try and save people. And then there was that I don't know when they were going out looking for someone or something like that, and they got screwed, and that closed Daryl off to say, you know what, there's no need for us to look for anybody anymore.
Right, but by the way, you notice how we said, hold on, the gun's not here? What?
Right.
Because you know what that means for what's his name? The face dude. Dwight is Dunzo.
Well, no, they said they moved
for
him.
Dwight's mother.
No, the kids said they moved him. The kids said
they moved him the day before, which is when they just got word from this dude. From Dwight.
But is that Dwight's fault, or is that something that somebody caught word of, or whatever?
Don't matter. He's shooting kids in the head who surrendered already.
Negan,
Dwight's getting.
I'm pretty sure people get out on the radio and like they're coming to compound, even when people are.
No, but they just started coming to the compounds that day. They knew from the day before.
Right.
And the only person that knew that they were coming was Dwight. Unless it's another snitch in the crew.
Maybe they gave Dwight faulty information.
I don't know, man.
Maybe they're trying to find a snitch.
I don't trust.
Remember, to bring it back to Game of Thrones, when they gave the same people all the information just to find out when Tyrion did that? Gave like 3 people the same different information just to find out who said what to who was the snitch.
I understand.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Dwight messed up enough times.
Yo, what if Eugene is out there watching Dwight's moves and telling him like,
I wouldn't put it past Eugene.
This is my, I don't mean to say anything or whatever, and he's explaining to Negan like, let's move the guns or something like that.
The only dude I would save from Negan's team is, the dude who was there when the kid got shot in the leg and ended up dying? The dude who collects from Ezekiel?
Who collects? Okay, yeah.
That because remember when Rick was like, "I'm gonna give you to the count or whatever," and then the dude's like, "Can we talk about this?" Negan was like, "I'm ready to go to war," but this dude and he talked to Ezekiel like he didn't want to have to shoot him, and he told the dude not to shoot him.
Right.
So I actually don't hate that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's
he works for
Negan. He's still Negan though.
No, but he's Negan because he has to be Negan, and he's fair. He seems fair.
You think he's slightly
fair?
The
whole time, he was the one who worked out the deal with Ezekiel that it be whatever, and he would never come to Ezekiel's town and, start and let even people know what was going on about what they were doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even when they, in the first episode, he was there talking to Negan like, maybe they could, work things out, like things don't have to necessarily
it doesn't have to be.
He doesn't take joy from this. Like he's doing it because it's a better life than like just waiting on the line. Like if you're a general that's in charge of pickups, like your life is better than the other people that live under Negan.
And he did still try to talk to Ezekiel a little crazy though. He was like, now this isn't this, blah blah blah. You're looking a little low.
He did it, but then he pulled Ezekiel to the side, like, look. Let's just I got to take this thing. I can't not take it.
Right.
Because, there's still rules here.
Right.
But it's not.
But he's not treating them with,
did that crap to start a war on purpose.
You seen how the other guys, you see how the dude that comes to Hilltop is.
Right. Yeah.
That dude got to die. But the point that I was trying to make, I think, just if we're thinking about writing.
Right.
When we may think that Jesus is dumb. And
he is super dumb.
No, and we may think that Maggie made a dumb decision, but I think the thing,
Stephen Ogg.
I think the thing that highlights that, which is better writing,
it's the plot device to keep the show going.
No,
it's just like,
hang on a second.
Let them in here.
Hang on.
Damn. Now we screwed ourselves.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I can talk now?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it. So,
just this once.
The thing is,
don't get used to it.
We may look at Jesus as dumb and look at the Maggie thing as a plot device, but I think the idea they're trying to come across is Maggie and Jesus are doing it their way. They're saving people, and if they don't, then they'll all be like Daryl, right? Because Rick let Daryl do it. Rick was just like, okay, well, you killed him.
Well, you saw he stepped away.
Speaking of Rick and Daryl, there is a confrontation coming between
you
those.
Think it's brewing?
It absolutely is.
It's gonna be.
It absolutely is, and that's why you watch Walking Dead.
Now you're saying it's because of Daryl making the decision of killing these people, or you're saying it's just that
because there's gonna be their ideology is not on the same wavelength right now. Because when they went in there, it kind of was up until Rick killed that dude and saw the baby.
Right.
No, it was up until killing the dude and then seeing the baby, and he's like, holy shit. Because before that, Rick was killing everybody. It doesn't matter. Everybody's dead.
And then he saw that monster in the mirror, and he came back to reality like, wait, hold on, let's...
But Rick also said only one of you guys have to die.
Him to change his ways.
He said what?
He said only one of you has to die.
Only Negan.
And that's Negan. So Rick wasn't like, and he said it. We'll kill if we have to, and we're not gonna feel guilty about it.
I think Rick is at a good balance.
But even after that, they were still going to outposts and killing everybody
because they had to. These are the outposts. Right? They have to get the guns because these guys are going to come back after them. So you have to neutralize the threat. He
was like, nah, if y'all give up right now, then nobody else has to die. But if y'all don't give up now, all of y'all are dead.
Which is what you have to do. But he gave them a chance. But
now he's feeling bad about killing people.
I don't think so.
He's not going to kill everybody. He's going to give everybody a chance to surrender.
Who, yes, Rick?
That's different from feeling bad of who he killed.
You can't.
I don't
let
think
nobody
he feels
surrender.
bad about who he killed.
Fuck them all. Saviors, because this dude was going to kill him. He's like, I'm not killing you right now because you're a trophy. But even if he was a trophy, then why is if the rules were? He told him the rules are not to kill you, not to kill the widow, and who else?
The son. Well, the child.
Yeah.
He was talking about Carl.
Basically, those three don't die. Everybody else dies. So if that's the case, why did they come in there shooting at Rick?
Well, they don't know that they don't know that it's Rick. They just know that there's enemies in this outpost.
They know the fuck it's Rick because you're telling me Morales didn't tell him he got Rick?
No, he just called for backup.
And then the whole time he was monologuing, he didn't tell him I got Rick?
I got Rick.
Really? Really?
Look, man, we gotta have a show.
Come the hell on, son.
So, no.
This is too convenient.
But
this is bad writing.
Here's the thing. Now, when we talk about the good,
I mean, I'm not a writer, but
there is good. Right. There is good in every episode. Right.
Absolutely.
There wasn't a lot of good in this one.
So my thing is this, and I know you're not listening to a Scott Gimple, and not really Scott Gimple, but AMC.
Right.
Cut the show down to 8 to 10 episodes a season, because then you could cut out all of the dumb plot device stuff and have the stuff between Daryl and Rick, which is actually good character work.
That was their initial stuff. You know what I mean? That was what drove the show.
These
for so
advertisement
long.
dollars, man. They making money.
No,
they selling this beautiful merch.
Merch right there.
All of this merch.
But so I agree with you that it's if it was cut down shorter, because the characters drove, like, that character relationship is what drove the show, and now you're adding these little, like you said, these tropes that's going on, and we kind of roll our eyes to it. But for me, as far as this episode, what I wanted to touch base on really quickly was there was pieces that, again, as we just talked about, that really remind you why The Walking Dead is so good. What I was disappointed in was Aaron and Eric and the closure of their relationship, right? Because, and it's nothing against Ross Marquand, right, and his acting, but I think I
thought he was overacting personally.
He might
no
have,
tears even came out of their eyes. It was just like the music and the right. Keep going.
But hold on.
Go for me.
It was like,
but hold on.
It was so cliche.
The problem that I had with it was that, like you said, it might have been overacting. You said no tears and stuff, but cliche. I think the problem was that they never had screen time, enough screen time for us to even care.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think honestly,
there was not enough camera time for me to care.
Right. So even with the actors performing that scene out, getting that scene out, there was no chemistry there. There was, I don't know about them personally. Maybe they have some form of chemistry and they're cool with each other, but
they never
it wasn't enough for me to have that
about their relationship.
And that's, for me, at all times, that's dangerous.
But
you know what I mean? Like his husband has only been in like maybe 4 or 5 episodes.
You're right. Like, I mean, in terms of background, and so you should. That's a serious thing that he's losing his partner, and instead, I'm sitting there like, oh, okay,
who cares?
And, I shouldn't feel like that. I should be like, I should feel what he's feeling. You know what I mean?
I think they did the character of Eric a disservice,
right?
Because he's literally a plot device for Aaron to go through some arc this season,
and now he gets to be a single father.
And whenever.
Yeah, and then the baby just dropped on.
No, hang on.
That's how Rick just backed up.
He's like, "Oh, this is what you need to cope."
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, I don't have nobody to take care of this baby. Oh, you lost somebody here. You take care of it."
He was like, I forgot. He was like, her name is Gabby or something like that, and he just backed up.
He's like, "Yes, I need this. I need you. You gotta let me do it. I need this."
But it's like, come on, man. What were you gonna say? Throw it back to you.
Oh, well, we didn't talk about.
Oh, I could talk again. Okay.
Oh yeah. There you go.
I gotta get permission these days.
Yeah, you do.
What were you? Before I go ahead, because I don't want.
No, I was talking about
the wrath of
Ezekiel and his overconfidence and how that bit them in the ass at the end of the episode.
Got looked like half of the people killed.
Yeah. He's like, look, not one, and he was there shocked, like, holy shit. Like they actually it worked. I spoke it into existence, and then dap dap skiddy up bop bop.
You was gonna all right. So before we jump on that, you was gonna touch on Aaron, right?
Aaron, yeah.
And then we got to talk about that skiddy bop bop bop.
Boom boom, kontum.
No, that was perfect.
Okay, no. So I think that every time you saw Eric in this show, he was just like the nagging wife or a husband, whatever. Right. He's just like, oh, you have to go out again. Oh, it's someone Aaron has to save. And they didn't flesh him out. But honestly, I don't think they fleshed out Aaron. To be honest with you, because I didn't care.
Right.
Not only did I not care that Eric died, I don't care that Aaron lost someone. Like if Aaron took a bullet in this episode, I'd have been like, all right, well, it's not one of the main
like if he took the bullet out of like Aaron and out of Eric and put it in himself and he's like, I'm gonna die now, you'd be like, oh, okay.
All right.
Honestly, anybody outside of main like first season characters in Michonne, I don't care about
no, because I'll say Ezekiel. Even though I hate the way he talks, it takes me out of the show. It reminds me that I'm watching a TV show, and I get it.
Don't get at Carrie Payton like that.
He is acting so that he's a symbol to his people. I get it. And
anybody
that acting
I know is gonna die.
Talking in things to existence is how the kingdom came to be. I get it. I just don't like it. It doesn't play on the show.
For you.
It's not in
talking
this
things into existence.
Absolutely,
but you're just crapping on Carrie Payton.
Again,
why
the
you
thing
mad?
Is when the show started,
what's the problem?
Even though we're dealing with the zombie apocalypse, everything else about the show was real.
Okay.
And the emotions were real, and the characters felt real. They didn't feel like caricatures. This guy is a character, and I'm sorry, it takes me out of the show.
It's hard from a comic book, right?
I understand that it's from a comic book, but that's not why this show got so popular.
Why? Because he has a tiger? You think that's not possible?
It's not that it's not possible.
He doesn't like.
No. Hold on. Stop. Everybody stop. You know what I mean? Because the reason we got into Walking Dead in the first place, because the first thing you tell people, like, yo, it's not a zombie show. It's not about that. This is real character relationships, right? And the people are real, and they're dealing with real loss. So when you put these wild characters on there, that gets away from why we started watching The Walking Dead in the first place.
I understand exist in the world.
Yes, I get that, and I understand that it's a comic book, but again,
even beyond that,
okay.
Even beyond that, everybody has different forms of leadership.
I get it, man. But if you put it this way, and let me ask you this and answer this question honestly.
Okay.
If when the show started, day one, Ezekiel was in it, would you have continued watching? Talking like that, would you go and tell people and get them to come on board? Do you think people would have came on and like been with the show? Like, I'm invested now, so no matter what they do, I'm watching it.
Honestly, no. But
why?
That
why
goes,
if it was following Ezekiel instead of Rick?
Ezekiel talking like that.
I mean, they had to build up to this point.
Bam. Points goes to that man.
It's just like how
we always talk about things building up to things.
Game of Thrones had to build up to the dragons,
Bam,
they
bam.
had to hatch. They had to get bigger.
Yeah, but there was a White Walker in the first episode of Game of Thrones, and
then the White Walker just disappeared. Yeah, but
the
White Walker
disappeared though,
and you never saw it again.
But I'm saying they have to build up to it. Like, zombies was there.
That shows what you saw, and the magic of the first season of Walking Dead. That was the magic of Frank Darabont.
No, but
I think I might have said his name wrong.
Darabont. But again, they kept it. They kept it going.
And his envision was that this is more than just a comic. This is like characters and relationships and things like that. And they kept that going, and then it just started to split into.
It's more of the comic now. But again,
element.
I just feel like
the
they got
was
this
always
large.
There, but it was an underlying
I feel like they got this large audience, and now it's like they're leaning into it being a comic, and I get that, but that's not why I started watching this show in the first place.
They're trying to make it more big because of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones got dragons, we got a tiger.
No, I don't think that. They knew a tiger was coming. They're making it bigger because they have the largest audience on cable. So, and again, they're selling a lot of commercials. And again, when you have an audience of 14 million people tuning in every week, you may not get people that are going to get the nuances of the relationship between Rick and Shane.
Right.
They may just want to see.
And why is she just always off camera?
Who?
Shiva. In the episode.
Because it costs money to have a CG
mad
tiger.
money to have a CG
It's just like,
tiger.
okay, we're going to put her in for 5 seconds this
episode.
Episode. Just make a roar.
Just growl. Just growl, exactly. Just growl.
We got a lot of dragons this season in Game of Thrones because there was only 6 episodes. Yeah. You're not doing 16 episodes putting that damn tiger. You better get a real tiger before you get a CG tiger.
Train it.
So, but again, they are becoming more true to the comic.
Right.
And on one hand, I respect that, but Walking Dead, the way it was set up and the thing that got me invested in the first place, now it is like shock value. Like we're trying to be a comic book.
Right. It felt even comic-ish.
It's not the same. And so I can watch it and enjoy it.
It was real?
I can watch it. I can watch it and enjoy it.
Right.
But I have to look at it like it is just, it's fun. It's not like, I'm not looking at it for character pieces and studies anymore. I'm not looking at it for how people deal with loss. I'm not looking at it for the metaphors anymore. I'm just like, well, how's Rick gonna get out of this one?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's at this point.
They said that it could keep going on for 100 more seasons and whatever.
Because people are gonna keep watching it, and again.
But it's like they keep regurgitating the same shit. They just they make the zombies look a little different and try to find ways to make the zombies be more gross every season, or explode them in a different kind of way. There will always be a Negan or a governor or whoever the antagonist is. That's always going to be there, and there will always be them going back and forth with, am I taking it too far? I need to reel it back. I'm losing somebody, so I lose my mind, but then I find back sanity, and that's what it's going to continue to be.
And here's the thing. I'm gonna continue to watch it without protest.
Absolutely, and to your point, even with that gag of when I believe it was Rick or somebody who shot a walker and the blood splattered onto the screen.
I like that. I actually like that.
And even with Gregory's performance, shout out to Xander Berkeley and his performance of just being a grimy dude.
Shout out to anybody named Xander.
Right, but he's just a slimy character. Like Gregory's looking through the cracks of the doors, saying, "Hey, let me in! I had to do it. Blah blah blah. Please let me in." And all of a sudden,
hashtag top scum.
Yeah. So you think she should have killed Gregory? I think they should have shot him on sight. Daryl would have shot that mother effer.
Brains dead.
I think that she should have shot him like through the peephole.
Like
don't even open the gate.
Whole time, I thought like I was just there like this. What we're doing this episode is if she lets him in, I was like, open the gate, and then she turns around and pow.
I thought that was going to happen.
I thought when he was saying names like, oh, do this for that.
Right.
I thought she was going to turn around, but again, I think that
Gabriel ain't even there. They didn't even confront the issue that Father Gabriel's not.
No, I understand, but what I'm saying
is, who's Gabriel? I just found this car.
That part of it is stupid. The stuff at the hilltop with Jesus, and it's a thing. But like I said, I thinking about it like right now in this moment, seeing the other side of it, because like if they let if Jesus let Morgan and Tara do what they wanted to do,
right,
it would look like what Daryl is doing. And I think that that's interesting to have it on those two sides. Do we want to be on the Daryl side of things where we just kill anybody after they surrendered and they pose no threat?
Yep.
Because we all felt it was wrong when he killed that kid. Maybe not Morales.
Right.
Because I would have killed Morales too. And Rick said, I mean, I would have killed you. I would have gave you a chance, but I would have killed you. But seriously, I understand. Like, he had a gun on Rick. We don't have time for this, right?
Right.
But this kid surrendered. And especially after the speech that Rick gave. So if that's who they're going to become, then they are. This is the thing. Be not that which you despise. Right?
Right.
And they are no better than those people. And so what are they saving the world
for?
Fighting monsters?
So you think Jesus is right?
No, I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying there needs to be a balance.
I get
right?
you.
And
would you have killed them?
Would I have killed who?
The Saviors.
I would have killed the dude with the long hair. I wouldn't kill the other ones who surrender.
Talking about the dude who was talking to Morgan?
The one who was talking to Morgan, yes, he got to die.
That dude,
he got to die.
That's not even a discussion.
He's a rabble-rouser. He hyping them up to run and shit like that. You got to die.
You got to die.
Of all of them, that nigga's dead. The rest of y'all want to die? Act up.
Here's the thing. And maybe this doesn't work for the Saviors, but I propose bringing back the 3 questions.
Who have you killed?
Why you did it?
Why did you do it?
How many people have you killed?
I think it's...
How many people have you killed?
Right.
Why did you kill? I don't...
It doesn't
matter.
I
got to know the 3 questions.
The 3 questions.
You can Google it.
It's the 3 questions, yes. I can Google it. But let's, as we're wrapping this up, go to what we were talking about initially when you had brought up Ezekiel. Yeah. That was the question you was asking Steve about Ezekiel, all that confidence, and now it looks like a lot of people.
Right. So I think, but I understand what Ezekiel's doing. Like, he is just exuding this confidence because if he doesn't do that, like,
these people aren't warriors,
then they'll give up.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got to hype them up.
Something to believe in.
Ezekiel is walking cocaine, basically. Right?
He's a motivational speaker. I mean, because it'd be impressive to me to see somebody talking all Shakespearean and they have a tiger that follows them. I mean, because it's not without the realm of possibility to own a tiger and have a tiger follow you. Because if you look at these,
he was a zookeeper. He raised that tiger.
Look, go on Instagram and follow Black Jaguar, White Tiger. Like these people, or just even people in Saudi Arabia, these kings or whatever, these people who rich with oil money, who they have lines and they just be in there with them, a bunch of them, and they don't bite them or nothing.
No, I totally get that.
It's possible.
I want walking cocaine on a t-shirt.
Walking cocaine.
I am walking cocaine.
And you know what it has to be? A dude with the 80s suit where the sleeves is pulled up on the blazer?
Yes.
Just walking?
I
hands in the pocket?
Yes. I am walking cocaine. I like that. That works for me.
Folks. But that's screwed.
Folks,
listen, no one take that.
Coming soon.
We got merch, man. Don't
worry about it.
Take that. You know.
What else do we got? Anything you wanna wrap up with? Any final? Okay, just predictions for next week. That's it. And then we're out of here.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's gonna die. Somebody's gonna live.
Are you gonna care?
I think I will care.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna care. I'm gonna watch.
No. I mean, are you gonna care about who dies, not the show?
I don't think anyone of significance is going to die next week.
Okay.
Because that is the 4th episode.
Fourth.
Yeah, fourth. Yeah, this is the 3rd. So I think we have by the 5th or the 6th. That's when somebody.
I have one more question for you. So do you think Morgan left the group and he's off on his own thing because he said I can't do this?
Yeah, and he's gonna come back.
So you think he still went back off with the group?
Or no, he's not with the group. He's not with the group. He's off. Yeah. He's going out into the woods.
I do have this to add, right? When we had first talked about the first episode and our reactions and predictions, in the opening scene, it was like Rick and I was talking about that it might be tears of joy or something like that because the war's over and we would all giving our different ideas. Something that came to my mind that I wonder, hopefully not, but I wonder if, because you had said something like sadness and death, and that's what you were alluding to. I wonder if that was him with crying or sad because Michonne died.
She's in the old man Rick scene.
That's a dream. Or no.
I mean, if it's a dream, but what if it's Daryl wasn't there? Maggie wasn't there.
I don't know.
And Daryl,
I'm just saying.
And Daryl has another show.
I mean, hopefully not, but I don't know.
So,
notice how we haven't seen Michonne like at all since the first episode, just in that little 5 minutes.
Michonne got stuff to do, man.
Exactly.
She's over there in Wakanda.
We ain't gonna see her the entire season, maybe till like the end of it.
Clearly, when they were filming this show, they had to she was filming for.
That's why they had.
So they just had her home.
You're gonna stay back and watch the
conveniently.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll save you for the flashbacks.
Exactly.
But any predictions for next week?
I just hope it's not as trash as this one.
I said a prediction.
A prediction for next week. Well, my prediction for next week is that Ezekiel and them are screwed. They lost at least half their people, and they're gonna somehow get out of that because if you watch for next week, it's just like you heard him saying, as before, he was saying, we won't lose one of our ranks.
Right.
He was there saying there will be blood. He's like, we will bleed. Like, okay, I'm not as optimistic. Like, some of us gonna die.
He's like, yo, a couple's gonna die,
succeed.
But we're gonna do this.
Someone's gonna bleed.
Ezekiel started talking about milkshake for some odd reason.
We're gonna bleed, but we're gonna succeed. So
I don't know if you guys got the "There Will Be Blood" reference, but it's okay.
I didn't hear you. I was listening to what LeVar said. So, but the 3 questions are: how many walkers have you killed? How many people have you killed, and why?
Yes.
Always remember.
I think they should come back to the 3 questions for all of those people that's in prison.
Okay.
And if you here's the thing though,
they killed mad humans.
No, I understand. But why? And if your story's not compelling, you're done.
But they all gonna say I did. They're all psychopath. Like they're psychopaths. They're all gonna say, because Negan made me do it.
But exactly what's
no. But it's about there are some people that did it because it's what they had to do, and you saw that. Like the dude, again, we talked about him, the guy that collected from the hilltop. But there's other dudes that was just like they're sadists. So them dudes,
they had pictures of the people on the wall at those compounds of like bashing their faces.
Right. Exactly. That's why Rick was taking pictures on the Polaroid because he's like, he's mailing out pictures to these people.
He's gonna send a raven.
No, but I do think that you have to ask and you have to go like, who was this character? What like how did they treat people?
Right.
Right. And if they didn't, if they were like out there killing people for no reason or just taking people's stuff, then you know what?
I kill people for fun.
But I don't think it's just like a blanket. Everybody
you want to
die.
With me?
Right.
You know what I mean? And again, if you don't show some sort of mercy, then you are
Negan.
Yeah. Right. And what at that point, if you're not showing mercy and you guys are running out of food or you want to keep things secure, you know what you're going to have to start doing going around?
Not a mercy.
You're going to have to start going around and taking a third of what everybody make.
Right.
And you're going to have to start going around and getting soldiers. And then because you want to stay safe, you're going to have to go around and have military bases everywhere, and anybody that is a threat because you're keeping people safe, you're going to have to keep them on the line.
Oh, so you mean you're going to have to be the United States government?
I meant you're going to become Negan. I didn't say anything about the United States government. But this is my point.
Yes, you did.
This is my point. Like, you can't...
No, we said no politics.
If you...
Even though I messed up too. But
if that's the route you're going down, it just leads to being Negan.
Right,
and so you there has to be something there, and that's why I really like how you had this Daryl stuff in this episode, because for me when I was watching it, like I did not see why I don't agree with Jesus. I think Jesus is dumb, right? I want revenge, but knowing what revenge looks like really is what they showed you with Daryl, and I think that's the important thing there to say slow down. I think it was poorly written and poorly handled on the Jesus side of things. But
it's
the Daryl shows
that we play with her,
they still
like
did
Jesus
thing.
And the Saviors.
Yeah. All right.
What do you think is happening next week? Close us out. What do you think is happening next week?
Okay. Did you have anything else you wanted to say, Mr. Johnson? Negan, I'm sorry, Lucille.
Basically.
And we are at the 46-minute mark, so let's
like
let's
I
get
said,
this thing
they're gonna lose a bunch of their ranks, and this one's gonna switch up his verbiage, and some people might die. What's going to happen is there's going to be more of a conflict of we need to work on this. Are we Negan or are we not Negan? Or are we killers or are we, good people? It's just going to be that. I don't know if we're going to see the fight between Rick and Daryl, but it's coming. If not a physical fight, it's going to be
that's like a mid-season finale thing.
It's definitely going to be an argument, and maybe Daryl will go off, and then you won't see him for a little bit. Because he got to go off on do his own lone wolf thing like Daryl likes to do.
Right.
So we'll see how it works, because that's been happening. Carol Warren did her lone wolf thing. Morgan about to do his lone wolf thing again. Daryl might go do his lone wolf thing.
I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna have the.
It's gonna be a fight though.
I think it's absolutely gonna be a fight, but I just don't. I think you can't do two lone wolf things in this.
So you think Rick? I don't know if Rick is gonna agree with all the saviors, but they're gonna put him in. What are they going to do? Put them all in a damn shed? What are they going to shit? How's that working? Do they have windows? They're just going to lock them in one of them storage containers?
Yeah. Let them bake. No. So just for next week, I think Morgan is going to go on a walkabout out in the woods. I think Carol and these guys, I think Carol is going to save them and they're going to get the guns, but they're going to lose a lot of people. And I think that is going to break Ezekiel's spirit, and I think he's going to stop talking like the king. I think he's going to use his regular voice because he's going to be shell-shocked. Because this will be his first.
Is he's this will be his first. Sheba, and then he's going to go nuts.
That would save the show some money. But I think that I honestly think that Ezekiel is going to lose the accent, and he's going to be shell-shocked. And this season is going to be about him getting back to his state prominence. Of confidence, right?
Ezekiel finna die.
But yeah, maybe. But
all these new people die. They just there to die.
But the thing is, Carol will save the day and get the Gatling gun, and that will be a thing and they'll have to get that back to the guys, but that will happen later.
Okay.
Like I said, Morgan's gonna go on a walkabout and he's gonna end up somewhere. Right. I think we will see Negan again next season and finally see him talking to Gabriel.
You think we're gonna lose a major character from the original squad?
This season, yes, but not this episode. And I think Daryl and Rick, the seeds of the fight will be planted because they're going to have a discussion about this.
Because of
what happened,
yeah,
and I think, but I don't think it's gonna stop there. I think he's gonna do it again, and Rick is gonna stop him, He thinks he's gonna try to kill somebody, and Rick is gonna stop him from killing somebody, and that's gonna lead to an argument. But they're not gonna have time to get into it, and they will get into it maybe at the mid-season finale. Those are my predictions. So for all of the and Aaron is gonna be with the baby, and he's gonna turn into Mr. Mom, and that's how he will get past this thing. But he's gonna do some like soul searching and crying in a little bit, and he'll get over it.
So it'll be like Aaron and Maggie kind
of. Yeah, they're gonna do a lone wolf and cub kind of thing. Like he is gonna be. It's just gonna be him with the baby. But yes. Okay. All right. And predictions next week. What do we got? Because we got to get out of here. We at the 50-minute mark.
I already gave my predictions.
Oh, you already gave anything? Any final thoughts?
You can close this on out.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of another Walking Dead recap show from On the Reel After the Credits.
Yes, sir.
I'm your host, Steve Johnson, and you can find me on Steve A.M. Johnson on your favorite social media platform, as long as it's not Snapchat. Where can they find you, Negan and Lucille?
The particulars.
At the particulars.
Really have to put the particulars.
All right. Mr. Woods, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on at YWoods Why Not on Instagram and other social media sites, or you could check out whywoodswhynot.com.
That's a porn site.
No,
it's not. It's not porn. Okay.
No, it's not. You can catch
some. What sites are you checking?
So my photography, some posts.
That was .net. Sorry.
No. Okay. Writing, some photography, some quips, GIFs, thoughts,
some pornographic photography,
all that jazz. Thoughts on the world.
All right. Well, that brings us to a close. But before we go, I reminded you in the beginning, and I just want to remind you again, please like and subscribe. We want to hear what you have to say. We want to know, what do you think is going to happen with Daryl and Negan? Are you Team Jesus or Team Tara? Are you tired of Morgan clearing? Do you want Morgan to come and clear your apartment?
Comment, you know what that means if he clears your apartment.
Subscribe, and also... and if you do subscribe, you will get the bonus of getting access to all of our other shows. Because we do weekly reviews. We just did our Thor spoilers and non-spoilers review.
Yes.
We try to do a review every week. We have a Stranger Things review coming up. We'll do that in the next couple of days. And our weekly news show on the Real News, where we talked about Tyrese, Justice League, and is everyone in Hollywood a philanderer? Also, we have a new show that's going to air maybe next week. It is not movie based. It's about politics. It's called The Second Page. You can check that out very soon. So we are expanding, and we want you to come on this journey with us. And whoever's here right now,
thank you.
Thank you, and tell your friends about it. Tell a friend to tell a friend that it's them again. And we are
Gremlins
out of here. Yes. Gremlins. I don't know why, but
it's not a porn site.
Yeah.